Hello everyone, I'm Justin, and for today's video, we will be taking a look at the summer 2024 anime season. We will be looking at which animes are airing, which ones I'll be watching, and which ones I think will be good and which ones will be bad. So, with that said, let's move on with the video. First, we have Oshinoko Season 2. I have to say that this came as a surprise. I didn't expect we will have the second season so soon. It is a really good anime. I think the first episode set a lot of expectations that later on didn't really live up to it. It was still pretty good, but I felt like it kind of lost its idea of what it was, because at the beginning it was kind of like a mystery thriller, and then it moved on to be a commentary on the entertainment industry, which is still not bad. But I wish they still touch a bit on the thriller mystery of who killed their mom. So yeah, I hope they could talk more about that stuff. But aside from that, it's still super good. So yeah, I think I'll be watching it, of course. I love the first season, and I think the second season will still be good. But we'll see if it still goes to what I'm saying about going a bit more into the thriller mystery. Next one, we have Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. I have heard about this one, that it's about a Russian girl that is in a Japanese school, and I think she likes the main guy. And I think the main guy understands a bit of Russian or something like that. And whenever she's talking to him, she likes to speak in Russian, kind of like to hide how she really feels. But the guy, of course, because he speaks a bit, he knows what she's saying. So something like that. But let's see what it says. Alisa Mikhailovna Kujo is Seren Private Academy's solitary princess. She's half Russian beauty with silver hair and the top of her class, student council accountant, and completely unapproachable. For some reason, she also taken off the responsibility of reprimanding the slacker who sits next to her in class. Masachika Kuse is constantly frustrating her by falling asleep, forgetting his textbook, and just being overall an exemplary student. Or at least, that's how it looks from the outside. She may put on a tough act, but she doesn't mind Masachika as much as others would think. She even lets him call her by her nickname, Alia. Anyone hearing the comments she mutters in Russian under her breath might know how she really feels. But since no one of her classmates understands the language, she's free to say whatever she likes. Except, there is one person who knows what she's saying. Masachika eavesdrops on her embarrassing revelations, pretending to be clueless, all while wondering what her flirtations actually mean. So yeah, I think he understands Russian, and like the girl likes him, so something like that. So yeah, it's going to be a cute rom-com. I of course love high school rom-coms. I don't know how good this one will be. I heard good things about it, and because it's so hyped and so high in the rankings, I expect it to be good. But I'm coming with low expectations, hoping to be surprised. Next, we have Tower of God second season. I'm going to say I'm a really big fan of the manhwa. I have read, I think, up until I think the last arc of the part 2, the one after the Hell Train. So yeah, I have read pretty far. I haven't read the part 3, so I'm still not up to date. But so far, I really loved it. I felt like the first season served as a really good prologue to what the story is going to be, because at the beginning, Bam was just kind of like the guy who was like a mold for everything. Like he didn't have a personality, and the story was mainly looked from the perspective of the other characters. But now, after what happens at the end of the first season, I'm not going to say just in case of spoilers. What happens after the first season, he gets more of a personality. He wants to go for revenge. He wants to understand why that happened. So yeah, it gets really good. I think the part 2 covers 4 arcs, which I think would be the Prince of Heart, then the workshop battle, the Hell Train, and one more which I don't remember. So yeah, I don't think we will reach the end. I will be surprised if we cover the Hell Train, because the first season covered around 78 chapters, and I think the part 2 covers, I think, like 200 chapters or something like that, and Hell Train starts around like chapter 100, I think. So I think it will probably only cover the Prince of Sahart and the workshop battle arcs, which is still really good. I think the first arc of the second season will serve as a really interesting point to understand what happened to Bam in these next few years after what happens in the first season, because it is a jump skip, a time skip. So yeah, it's going to be really good. I really like it, and of course I will be watching it. Next is Days with My Stepsister. After his father remarries, Yuta suddenly finds himself with a new stepsister, Saki, the greatest beauty at school. Neither of them is sure how to act around the other at first, but the two gradually grow more comfortable living together. Slowly, cautiously, patiently, two strangers become more. So begins an unlikely love story. Oh god, we have domestic girlfriend again. Oof, okay. I mean, I love trashy rom-coms. Well, it's really difficult to know how this is going to be, because I think we have already had a lot of this type of animes where like they are like step siblings but not by blood, and they are kind of like into each other. I believe Domestic Girlfriend is the perfect example of that. And then there is another one about, I think the name was like My Stepmom's Daughter is my ex-girlfriend or something like that. So yeah, there are a few animes that already covered this. This looks like, I don't know. I will really have to see. I love trashy rom-coms, so I think I will be giving it the opportunity, but it really depends how it develops, because it could just be trash, it could be trashy good. So yeah. Next we have Our Last Crusade or The Rise of a New World Season 2. I remember watching the first season, and I thought at the beginning it was kind of good because it was a story of two sides. One side is kind of like the Holy Knights, and the other side that was the Witches' world, and they are fighting with each other. And then the main guy is trying to like make peace with the witches, and there's like a witch that also wants to make peace, but then everybody else is fighting each other. So kind of like Romeo and Juliet kind of thing, but they are not really liking each other, or they don't show it as much, which I thought it was good at the beginning, but as it developed, it kind of fell off the mark. Like I didn't like where the story was going. I felt it was just like a typical power fantasy, and yeah, it didn't really convince me. I think the first season aired like what, like 8 years ago, 7 years ago. So yeah, I'll be watching it because I already watched the first season. But if you haven't watched the first season, I don't know if I would recommend it. I think it was fine if you like power fantasies, I guess, but it's not that good. So yeah, if you watch the first season, give the second season an opportunity. If not, you're not really missing anything. Next, we have The Cafe Terrace and Its Goddess Season 2. Now, this may be a controversial take, but I didn't like the first season. I thought it was a worse quintessential quintuplets. It wasn't as good. I thought the idea of like the five girls living in together and working at a cafe was kind of boring, and the reasons for them to like the main guy and start like to have a relationship, and all of them like kind of liking him and like trying like to advance while like still being friends, kind of like didn't sound realistic to me. Of course it's a harem, so it shouldn't be realistic, but still, I don't know, it didn't feel as good as quintessential quintuplets. And yeah, I still watch the first season. I may give like one or two episodes to the second season, but yeah, I didn't like it that much. And from what I saw in like some images or like trailers, it's going to be like 5 new girls, so I assume it's going to be like there will be like another cafe competing or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I felt like this one was meh. Next one we have Suicide Squad Isekai. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Suicide Squad. I watched the movies, but they were okay. Like they were nothing special to me. And Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of DC comics, but I would say a few things. First is that this story is made by the same guy that made ReZero, I think. So yeah, the story must be super good. I think that's one of the main reasons to watch this one. And second season, this may come as a surprise, but I'm a big fan of Mori Calliope, so I'm going to watch it just to hear the ending song. So yeah, aside from that, I've seen the trailers and they look super good. So yeah, I think if you like DC comics, this is a must watch for sure. If you're into isekai, this is also like at least give it an opportunity. And yeah, if you like this type of stuff, I'm sure you will love this one. Next one we have Failure Frame. I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low level spells. Oh, I'm a low level guy with super OP skills type of anime. So let's see what the synopsis says. Abruptly catapulted into a fantasy world, Mimori Toka and his classmates have been summoned by the world's resident goddess to serve as heroes. Luckily, most of the students displayed amazing skills upon arrival, except for Mimori, whose abilities bottom out as measly E rank. With no further use for him, the goddess banishes Mimori to a dungeon from which no one has ever returned alive. Yet, as it turns out, Mimori's skills aren't so much worthless as they are abnormally powerful. Even if Mimori can only claw his way back to the surface, nothing will stand out in his way from getting revenge. So, Arifureta. Oof, yeah, this sounds cookie cutter generic isekai revenge anime. So, yeah, I thought Arifureta was meh. And is this one anything like that? It's going to be meh. Yeah, probably will give it 3 episodes just because it is a trashy isekai. But yeah, I don't expect too much. Next one, I would just mention Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest. I have not watched, I think I only watched like 50 episodes of Fairy Tail. I haven't watched the full anime, so I'll be skipping this one. But if you like Fairy Tail, you will probably watch it. I never thought it was that good anyway, so yeah. Next one, the strongest magician in the Demon Lord army was a human. I feel like we have like 2 or 3 animes with the same premise already. Like that one, the chilling in my 30s after being dismissed from the Demon Lord's army or something like that. So yeah, let's see the synopsis. Ike is known as the strongest magician in the Demon King's army, and it's a single-handedly conquering fortresses. The way he mowed down the enemies with his immense magic is truly a monster that makes him feared by both allies and foes alike. However, he had a secret that he could not tell other demons. I'm actually human. Aiming for a coexistence between demons and humans while the leader of the demon army is hiding the fact that he's actually a human? Oof, yeah, this could really go down to how good is the comedy. Because the story, again, this is not the first time that we see this type of animes. I think the premise is not unique. So it really depends if it's going to be like a comedy about how he's hiding his powers, or if it's just going to be like a simple power fantasy. If it's the second one, I think it will probably be like not that good. So yeah, I think I'll give it 1 or 3 episodes depending on how the story develops. But yeah, I don't expect too much. Next one, no longer allowed in another world. Pulled into an otherworldly adventure with cute sidekicks and superpowers, you think Osamu hit the jackpot. Nope. From a time before Pixels, the early 20th century gloomy author just wants to find a quiet place to meet his maker, not to rack up XP. Sadly, his poetic demise is constantly thwarted by inconvenient heroics, diving into a hilariously tragic life of the most reluctant hero. Okay, an isekai comedy. Okay, I think the premise is that the synopsis doesn't give me too much. As I said, a lot of these animes depend on how well you develop the comedy. If it's going to be, I just want to die, just let me die, and like everybody's just saving him, that could just end up being boring really quickly. So it really depends on how the comedy develops, but the premise looks fine. I think it could really be good if it knows how to land the story. So yeah, I will be giving this one an opportunity. 3 episodes for sure. Next one. Why does nobody remember me in this world? Just looking at the image, this already looks like a trashy isekai. Let's see. War between the 5 races on Earth, the humans, the demonic race, the wild god race, the spirit race, and the phantom beast race, has ended in the victory of the humans. It is said that Prophet Sid has healed the other 4 races and the Black Pyramid, now called crypts. Kai's job is to watch the crypts and make sure that there is no change. He also training to save humans when the other races break the seal and come back to the world. The crypts look quiet today, but after Kai felt the world bending in front of his eye, everything changed. World Rebirth was activated. Now, Kai is instantly a different world where no one knows him, but he remembers everyone. As I said, trashy isekai. It looks super trashy isekai. Yeah, I will give it 1-3 episodes, see where it goes, but trashy isekai for sure. Next is 2.5 dimensional seduction. I have no interest in real girls. So claims Okimura, the president of the school manga club. He's your typical otaku obsessed with sexy fictional 2D manga characters known as Lilith. Then the new school year starts and a real 3D girl named Lisa, whose passion is cosplay, joins the club. Lisa convinces Okumura to become her photographer and guesses who her favorite manga character is. Not only that, but Lilisa is into modeling her fetishy stuff. The boundaries between 2D and 3D start to blur as his hot-blooded romantic comedy unfolds. So, this is just my Dress Up Darling. This is exactly the plot of my Dress Up Darling. Just the guys in an otaku club instead of making the costumes. Yeah, I mean, it's an ecchi anime, of course. I will be watching, but yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be like unique. But the girls look cute, so I'll be willing to watch. What can I say? I love ecchi animes. So yeah, next one, Gigi Harem. Eiji Kitahama is. Wait, is this the one where one girl pretends to be a lot of girls to be a harem, so like the main guy can get like a girlfriend or something like that? I think it was that. Let's see. Eiji Kitahama is an upperclassman who longs to have a harem like the ones he sees in the comic he reads, while Rin Nanakura, who secretly likes him, plays a different character with unique personality whenever she's around him. What path will the romance of these 2 drama club members take, and will Rin ever be able to act like herself and convey her feelings for him? Yeah, this is the one. This is the one about the girl is pretending to be a lot of girls to fulfill the dream of the guy to have a harem. So yeah, this is peak romance. What can I say? It looks super good. So yeah, I'll be watching it for sure. Next one, A Journey Through Another World, raising kids while adventuring. Another trashy isekai? What is this? Is this the season of trashy isekais, guys? Maybe, so let's see. Kayano Takumi is accidentally killed by a god and reincarnated. Granted a variety of skills, he is sent to a dangerous monster-infested forest in another world. In the woods, Takumi encounters a young boy and a girl, who looks like twins. He decides to take care of them and names them Alan and Elena. Surprised by how easily they defeat monsters while their combat abilities, Takumi arrives in town and registers with the Adventurers Guild in order to provide for them. Thus begins his laid-back adventuring life as he watches over Ellen and Elena grow. Looks fine. I think could be worse. At least the premise is unique, so yeah, I think this is the better of the trashy isekais that we're getting, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a harem like the other ones. It's going to be a full-on just a guy with his kids. So yeah, I think I'll be watching this one. Looks good. Next one, Wistoria Wanded Sword. A hard-working boy named Will enters a magic academy in hopes of becoming a great sorcerer. Unfortunately, there's a fatal flaw in his plan. He lacks the ability to use magic. Amid the cold stare of his classmates and instructors, Will feels discouraged at times, but he presses forward with unwavering determination. He can't use a wand, but he can wield a sword in his battle to reach the top of magic-dominated world. He just needs to believe in his own unique strength and remember that the premise the promise he made with someone precious to him. Okay, so is this Mashle, but instead of being strong, the guy is super good at swords? Maybe? But it looks like it's going to be more action based. So yeah, I think I'll be giving it an opportunity. I think it has its uniqueness, and yeah, I think always like looking for a way to fight instead of using like everybody uses magic, he's like doing something different. That could be interesting. I just thought of it, but this is Black Clover, guys. So yeah, we'll see, but yeah, it looks interesting. Next one, and nobody way up to an exploration hero. Kaito Takagi, a low-status high schooler, your typical mob character, so to say, was just normal, everyday explorer who hunted slimes every day in the dungeons that appeared in Japan, earning pocket money while admiring his childhood friend, the class queen, from afar. One day, a golden slime he had never seen appears before him. After he defeats it, he obtains an extremely rare item worth hundreds of millions as a drop, a servant card that can summon mythical beings. After he makes up his mind and summons it, a warrior maiden with unparalleled beauty appears. Rise above being just a mob character explorer Kaito, a modern battle fantasy story has begun. Okay, I like that the main character, it still has the generic main character hair, but at least he's kind of fat, so like they were going to show that like, oh yeah, I'm the bad, like I'm the ugly fat guy that like nobody likes, and yeah, I get a girlfriend through summoning, and now I'm super popular. So yeah, I think it could be interesting. We'll need to see how it develops, but at least again the story is unique, so that always gets me. Next one, Koi wa Futago de Warikirarenai. The romantic comedy follows a boy named Jun who is childhood friends with two twin girls with different personalities. He ends up with a love triangle with Rumi, who looks boyish but has an otome on the inside, and her twin sister Naori, who is a cute otaku. Okay, a rom-com with otaku culture and a love triangle with twin sisters. Sign me up. Yeah, I will probably be watching this one, so yeah, for sure. Next one, I Parry Everything. The Kingdom of Clays faces a dire crisis. An assassination attempt has just been made in his own Princess Lindbergh, and now its neighboring countries eye the aftermath like starving vultures, plotting the kingdom's downfall. The ensuing conflict will shape the face of the continent for centuries to come. But Nor doesn't have a clue about any of that. Having freshly arrived at the royal capital after over a decade of rigorous isolated training at his mountain home, he dead set on achieving his childhood dream of becoming an adventurer. Even if his only skill he possesses are a useless one. Sure, none can parry thousands of swords in the bite of a single breath, but everyone knows you need more than that if you want to be an adventurer. Our hero road to making his dream come true will be long and arduous, but if there's one thing Nor's not afraid of, is that some good old-fashioned hard work. Okay, is this going to be another MOP and I just use parry skills for everything and everything goes well for me, so... Yeah, I think we already have two of those. At least this one is unique in the sense that the power is parry compared to like the other more generic ones. So yeah, I think I will give it like 3 episodes to see how it goes. But yeah, I think this looks better than the other two, but doesn't look as good as more interesting isekais. So yeah, next one. My dear friend Nokotan. I was just saying it one time, like, she can knock. I love that. I love that. I have seen the trailers already. It looks to be super silly, super dumb, and super good. It's going to be, I think, the comedy of the season. So yeah, if you haven't heard of this one, it's about, I think it's like a girl that is half deer, and she goes to like a school, and like there's a girl who thinks like this is super weird. What is a deer girl doing here? And yeah, it looks super dumb. So yeah, I'll be watching it. In fact, I don't even want to read the synopsis. I just want to go there blindly, because what story you need when you know it's a deer girl? So yeah. Next one, the magical girl and the evil lieutenant used to be an arch nemesis. She's a magical girl sworn to fight for peace, love, and justice. He's a lieutenant born in a military family that served an evil empire, and yet it was love at first sight. Okay, it kind of looks like what was that Power Ranger Love After World Domination anime? Looked to be similar. The animation quality looks a bit better, more mature. So yeah, we'll see. I think I like the Love After World Domination. So if this one is anything like that and maybe more adult-like, it would be interesting. So yeah, I'll be watching it. Next one, the second part of Nier Automata. So yeah, I thought it was really interesting the first season. It was a shame that it had some development issues and the last few episodes aired later. But yeah, I thought it was super interesting. I think at the beginning it looked to be the same as the game, and later on the story kind of like it still felt similar but unique, like differently. It followed a different path. It gave us some different context or like different idea and different ending, which is something that Yogotaro has done through all his games. So yeah, I liked it. I want to know how it keeps developing, so I will be watching the second season. Next one, we have VTuber Legend. How I went viral after forgetting to turn off my stream. Okay, 20-year-old former wage slave Yuki Tanaka now works among her idols, the streamers of Live On, one of Japan's top VTuber companies, as the gorgeous, polite Awayuki Kokorone. She delivers only the most ladylike content. Unfortunately, her subscriber count and savings are rock bottom. One evening, after Yuki thinks she ended her stream, she cracks a few cold ones and more than a few crude jokes. While watching the Live On video archives, but her viewers hear it all, and clips of her bawdy, drunken commentary go viral overnight. Yuki thinks her career is over, until her manager reveals that everyone at Live On has been waiting for her to snap all along and gives her free reign to drink on stream. Now, free of all the feigned purity, she jumps right into her new rowdy drunk character and is welcomed into the fold by her fellow Live On VTubers, who turn out to be just as crazy as she is. With her views and finances skyrocketing, Yuki's work for the first time in her life is actually fun. So this is Hololive with beers. Okay, this is going to be fun. As I said, I like Mori Calliope and like this idea of like, especially because Mori also drinks a lot. So yeah, this is going to be fun. I think I will be watching this one. It looks like it's going to be a cute comedy, and yeah, I'm all for that. Next one, we have a quality assurance in another world. Despite its location in a remote region south of the continent of Felnark, the island of Claiborne is made up of 5 small countries crowded together and is constant conflict. In the most remote reaches of the smallest and most peaceful country of the island, the Kingdom of Vale is a small village where the girl named Nicola lives a humble life. One day, while she's out gathering firewood, as she does every day, a massive dragon, a creature that's supposed to only live deep in the mountains, appears in front of her. Just as she's about to attack the village, a man named Haga rushes at the scene. Haga is one of the members of the King's Seekers, a top-secret investigation team. Nicola has never once felt bored with her peaceful life, even when every single day is practically the same. But after meeting Haga, she's so intrigued by Haga and his travels that she decides to step out into the world herself, and then learns the true nature of the world. Okay, looks interesting. I think I like this type of shows where they like show like kind of video game side, dungeon from the inside, similar to Dungeon Black Company or animes similar to that. So yeah, I think I'll be watching it. So yeah, it looks super good. Next one, we have Too Many Losing Heroines. I have heard of this one. The main idea was that it's the story of what happens to the girls that lose the harem battle in a harem anime, which I thought is super good idea. Because yeah, it's always like the main guy gets the girl, which is most of the time the childhood friend. So yeah, it's interesting to know what happens to the other girls when the main guy decides who is the girl that he's going to date. So yeah, let's see what the synopsis says though. Plain, boring, and friendless Nukumisu Kazuhiko has witnessed something completely baffling. popular girl Yanami Anna was friend-zoned by her school by her childhood friend and crush. In fact, all the popular girls around him are getting similarly rejected by the boys they like. Without realizing it, Kazuhiko becomes entangled in the relationship drama where all the leading heroines are losing out on love. Can he keep their spirits up and help them find happiness? So yeah, this is like all the girls that lost their respective harem battles. The main guy that's like a plain, boring looking guy helps them kind of like overcome their feeling of loss, something like that. So yeah, a comedy romance school rom-com. So yeah, I'll be watching it. I think the premise really caught my attention. So yeah, I think it's going to be good. Next one, we have the Rick and Morty anime. What can I say? Like, it looks like it's going to be fun because the people that are making it are fans of the original show, so I don't think they are just doing this for the sake of doing it. I think they will bring on the unique own ideas. So yeah, I think I'll be giving it an opportunity. I don't think this sets a good precedent because like at some point like a lot of like shows could be getting like this but in anime, but this one could be an exception. We'll see how the anime develops, but yeah, I'm having some expectations for this one. Next one, we have the Elusive Samurai. The main character, Tokiyuki Hojo, is the true successor of the Kamakura shogunate, but he doesn't like conflict and constantly runs away from training. However, in 1333, the Kakamura shogunate fell into ruin. Losing everything, including his family and his home, he runs away to survive a live life and live life, vowing to recapture his old home. Samurai at the time lived by the basics of fighting and dying. By doing the opposite of running away and living, this is the story of Tokiyuki's overcoming troubled times, and it's quite an interesting one. Okay, I've seen a few shots of this anime, and the animation quality looks super good. I don't know much about the story, so I will be giving it 3 episodes, but I'm not sure how good it's going to be. And lastly, we have Plus-Sized Elf. Naoe-kun, a massage therapist, is about to head home from the day when he's saddled with a rather strange patient. This lovely lady has emerald eyes, pointy ears, and grew up in the forest. Everything about her screams elf. Except for one thing, her bodacious body. It turns out she left her world but loves junk food in this one. And now, her obsession has caught up with her. Can Naoe-kun help this lovable elf girl lose the weight and keep it off? I think the idea was that she got super fat because she really liked junk food, and now she cannot go back to her elf world because of shame, or something like that. So she's trying like to train and like lose some weight, and yeah, you can see like this is for the guys that love plus size girls, and yeah, it's going to be like an ecchi anime with like some comedy, but like if you love plus size girls, this one is for you. So yeah, it's going to be good. So yeah, I'll be watching this one for sure. And with that said, I think these are all the animes that I'll be watching. I think there are a few animes that I skipped because I'm still not sure if if I will be watching them, or I didn't thought they were that interesting. But in general, this season is super packed. There's so many animes, and I think there's still a few ones that are super good. I think for sure the Oshinoko new season, Tower of God, and the Suicide Squad will be the top on my list. But I think another few animes like My Dear Friend Nokotan and the Plus Size Elf are going to be super good too. So yeah, if you think I missed an anime that I think I should be watching, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, this has been the summer 2024 anime season, guys. Let me know what you think, and I will be see you guys on the next time. Bye.